Right, hello folks, Compressor here, doing a video for betnod.com. See, I get around. It's a little bit different this time. Usually I do small micro stakes reviews. This time we've got Cristobal. David Bowie! I always think that when I see his Aladdin Sane picture. How you do, Cristobal? Nice to see you again. A little bit disappointed, Christopher, I've got to admit. Usually, what this is all about to me is I like to laugh and point at people's play, them limp calling for a third of their stack, or limp folding, and just doing crazy things. But I don't get any of that with you. I had a little flick through, and I can it seems like Chris is really on the right trail. He does everything. It seems no real problems there, I would say. So maybe it's good for some of you limp callers to maybe get a watch of this and see how proper people play. It's a 200 and something dollar event, Sunday special. Get quite a few hands, so we'll pop on. Can't see many problems, but let's see how we go. So what happens here? I press go. So here we are, we're kit blue. We'll just flag through the ones there. This hand here, this I checked it maybe the first 100 or so hands, and there was only one that I was a little bit. Wait, it's a tough spot. An early limper under the gun. You're sitting there with kings, queens suited. There's probably three ways to play. I'm interested in what other people think. Me personally, I just fold hands, especially with the size of the stacks. If I was in later position, I would limp behind. But under a gun, having first hand, second hand of the tournament, I just bin that and move on. That's the way I would play it. Chris, we'll see, I believe, limps behind, which is another way to play it. Again, it's a tricky spot. I don't know how right or wrong it actually is, because again, it's a tricky spot. I think if I was a pro and I was advising you though, Chris, I would be saying that you should be ISO raising, even an under the gun limper at this early stage. I think an ISO raise would have been possibly the correct play. I would have folded, but hey, we limp. Funnily enough, actually, I remember years ago when I started playing, I limp called under. Again, I would just be letting it go here. You're out of position, but we can't. It's early doors. Hope they flop big. Blah blah blah. I don't think I could have any. Look at that from micro thing in the jiggy. Yeah, I think Chris that possibly just folding and I don't know, just getting a coffee and waiting for the tournament would possibly have been the I don't know, you can't see me, but I'm doing the old thing, the correct play with the little question marks on it. Out of position was just folding here. See, as I'm saying, I looked and just Chris is doing it all. And I've got to say, he really ramps up the aggression. I love it all. I love his game. It's all great. It's all good, man. It's all good. Well, I don't know if it's all good. What I seen was good. So no sitting here giggling and laughing to myself. We're not looking at other players and getting reads on them at the moment and things. I'll try and keep it as short as we can. There we go. I suppose a lot of folks would say nothing wrong with raising early and the thing, but no, I'm the same. I would just fold it. That dude should have raised really. Oh, what we can do here really is there's going on. I think we'll just be folding. Right, we're bloody 5 minutes in and we've done nothing, man. And we'll just be folding this. I don't even have to look, we just fold. Right, I'm still here. And we'll just be folding this. Chris doesn't play shite, so but then again he could have opened raised there possibly, but no, it would have been bad if he had. Yeah, nothing wrong I think with a wee raise there, Chris, but late position, blah blah blah. I think that probably was a raise. But as your game shows later, I think once the antes and that kick in, you're more prone to go for things. But I think there was nothing wrong with raising the king 10 or folding. Yeah. Okay, raise sizing, pre-ante, nothing wrong with 3 times. We're old school again. Old school pre-ante, so we see betting that. No, you've got position in 2 players, Chris. As I say, I don't like to try to tell you your game, Chris, because you obviously probably play it better than me. But hey, I'm only trying to transfer the training and things that I've learned. I'm not saying I put them into practice. But there, I think, against, if the 2 players had position on you, there, nothing wrong with it. But if you've got position in the 2 players, I think I'm betting 100% there against 2 players. But I've got a funny feeling I noticed you do like to do a delayed bet on the turn. And also, I'm quite prone these days to just checking back second pair, but only if I was heads up. Well, actually, I'm 100% betting heads up. But I don't know, I think that you have to bet that, Chris, and just to know where you are really. Yeah, you can get bluffed off, but you can get bluffed off here too. I think I've got a feeling he did manage to bluff you off. But I think if he'd bet the flop and then double barreled again, I think at least knowing. Anyhow, it wasn't. As I say, I'm not going to do too much pre-flop talk, as we'll be raising that up. With I like the sizing. Yeah, maybe 400 would be better, but nope, I'm not just going to be picky as if to look for something to whinge about. I think, I think maybe even a smaller one might have induced a 4-bet and then whatever, but nothing wrong at all. In fact, I think I probably like the size. I don't know what's going on anymore here because I can't see what's the thing. And again, as I say, my post-flop chatter is not really. And you seem to, as I say, your sizing the same. Well, it's a little bit less against 2 players, which is quite interesting. Again, we'll go position. Aye. There we go. Oh. Right. Aye, nice, like it, no problem. Oh, ouch. And a sickener. It always annoys. We'll have to watch these hands when Chris is opening, folks, because he has got a wide opening range. Wider than mine, I will say that. Something I've got to work on my game a little bit. Usually because I'm so skint and I end up playing where I just want to get it double up, and not a bad strategy, but I did take a little bit from Chris's play and also from the videos I watch where I have to open up my game a little bit, my open whatever raising. That's an easy fold. I'm not going to rush this too much. We can maybe do 2 40-minute videos or something from it. Don't know how much there really is for folks to learn bar just watching Chris's decent play really. There's not going to be any big major leaks that I could see when I had a flick through the other night. two, whatever, yesterday. That's me got my gyro about 4 hours ago. So in my bed till then. Just to mention for folks that are still there, I'm not going to try and whatever, but betmental.com, betmental. That's my new website. I've come back after about 3 or 4 years and decided to make a betting website. But I'm not too bad. I just needed somewhere to post because I just find with betting on, I've done my thing with everywhere. I've fell with too many people and I'm more for a bad image, which is understandable, really. I was drinking heavily because I was, and I'm an arse with a drink. You get tens on the button, tens on the button. I do stupid voices. I don't know if you would. I think probably that's probably okay. Would you four bet? Would you? Well, not even four bet because he just limped. He's raised him pretty big. I'd put him on a smaller pair there myself. What was his snack size? I don't know if I would be three betting calling a shove from there, but I don't think there's too much wrong with just calling with position. Oh, lovely. Don't know what you feel, Chris, about that. I mean, a lot of nines out there that you pay. I don't know if you're just calling to see how the board runs out a little bit. We might be missing a bit of value here. I mean, he donk leads. You could possibly put him on some sort of jack queenie hand, in these donks. I don't know. I think I probably would be raising there just for value purely. Value and well, we get it. We raised there. Checks, he very folds. So we possibly did miss a little bit of value on the flop. But you could be representing a lot. You could be representing a 9 there, and we could have ping. I don't know if it's the greatest player me to either 4-bet pre-flop and on the flop. I do think though I would be raising. Again, it's player dependent, etc., etc. He seems like he likes to play a little bit. I think there's a lot of hands in his range that he could have called a not bad size thing, which he is repping. I don't know, maybe a 9 or top. Well, I don't think he'd have folded top pair there, would he? These donks. Anyhow, hope folks can understand me. I'm not the best spoken person in the world. Could be worse. I'll be folding there. Nice. See, I don't have to say anything there. We know that's the thing. I would here you're out of position, blah blah blah. It's only 185 to call. The rule are, was it 10 and 20? Nah, 5 and 10. The rule of 5 and 10. If you're getting better than 10 to 1, if it's costing you less than 5% of your stack or effective stacks, you'll be calling there, and we'd want at least about 15 to 20 to 1 on the call, obviously just to set mine. Right, I don't know, my big speech there was not necessary, but that's for other people. Check. And the king of the turn, we'll call you Chris. Which again, possibly more advanced than me with the play. It could be, I know it's when I was when I was a kid. I remember the early days when I started playing poker in 2006 only. I used to see a lot of the pros checking back the flop, and I never understood it. And I think it is just pot control. I think you can raise there, not the best of thing. Again, it keeps the thing. I don't know, it's pre-ante still. I think there wasn't any reship stacks. We still got plenty of planes. I think the ace-9 fine, which I find strange because you do. I'd say that you have your reasons for it, Chris, because your range is certainly opening range is certainly a lot wider than ace-9. But again, as you say, as we know, it's a hand that you never like it all the way through, and even if you hit your ace, so nothing wrong with staying at that for it. But then that was likewise with the king queen in the first second hand. I would have said that was a trouble hand thing. Right. The stack size you can't really do much against. I'll be folding that. Times I'm waiting for my dope dealer to bring me some dope round, and then I'm waiting for the off license to thing fold there. Again, pre-ante folks, talking to folks, not to Chris. Chris knows the score. As I say, this is a 200 buy-in. I don't know if Chris got to be satellite or if he just the thingy-jiggies. I suppose that does affect how you play later in the tournament, if it was a satellite that you get through on, or if you can afford this is just regular things. Quite a little insight. I did play once in a 200, it was the Poker Stars 5th anniversary, the 5 million tournament about 5 years ago. No, about 3 years ago. It was a 225 buy-in or something, 215, and I didn't play like a cunt, but I went out after about 2 hours or something. I think at one point I was actually in the top thingamajiggy. As I see folks there, nice bet sizing, you like that. I've must admit, a lot of folks, the min raise is even the new 2.5 raise, but I'm still a 2.5er. I do think that min raises does give the big blind too much opportunity to, or even will. You get these donks that just think they're getting, this is donks, your advanced donk that thinks that call with. Yeah, I was actually thinking of this hand today a few times when I was thinking about it. It's a funny old spot. Me, I think I fold there. Why? Because I'm out of position. I don't like calling because I don't know where I am. I don't like re-raising because I don't want to bloat the pot out with a weak hand, really. Playing out of position with a big pot that could cost things jiggy. I think personally, Chris, well, it's only min raised as well. I think nothing wrong with it, but obviously you'll be good enough, Chris, to not get attached to your ace. If it's a horrible little bet to him, whatever he's got. I think on the flop, we can't raise for value. I don't know if we could, because he does look, I don't know. We could raise, and I think he still calls with a lot of kings. But I think there's no draws, no nothing. I think nothing wrong with just thingamajiggy, because what do you do if you raise and he re-raises you? You're in a bad spot. I didn't see how much he bet there on the thing, but I think you know it's yours. Right, we value bet the thing. It's all good, folks. It's all good. I think I might pause and get a coffee actually. I've not gone for that coffee yet. I'm still here. Thought there's a thing. Don't know why I mumbled to myself now. That was a good fold, really. See, a lot of folks like to call, so I do too. Hey, I'm a lot of folks as well. Well, nah, I'm not really. I don't shop at Buttons. I don't have a TV. I don't watch Sky. I'm not a lot of folks. I've not had sex since I started playing poker. Actually, I'm not saying it's got anything to do with it, but it just so happens I started playing poker in 2006. and I've not had a ride off a woman since 2006. Well, bar the holes I paid for in Thailand, of course. But general consensus is I'd say 6'5" suited is an okay hand to call in. Call him with 4 deuce suited, it just could get you into trouble. With straights and things, you could end up making a straight and somebody with 5'6" has got a bigger straight and you get stacked off. So I like that fold. Hey, come on, do you think you're some sort of expert or something? Like, yeah, you like that, do you? Well, I'm just putting my opinion. It's a good test for me, my thing. I'm not saying I'm not the greatest player, as my results will show. Aye. But you do look awfully strong, doesn't it? But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I think. Well, what would I do there? I've got to admit, I suppose Chris will mix his game up a lot. Uh, I would probably say 70%, 75% of the time. Tell you a lie, it's actually table dependent, really. I do like to limp behind there and hope if we've got an aggressive table with people re-raising limpers, I would limp behind and then re-raise if I hopefully be hoping to get raised, and it gets me in a lot of trouble, man. There we go, we'll be betting there. Easy enough. But that was just another option, and I'm sure Chris doesn't always play the king like that in the same spot. Good fold. When I say good fold, I just mean a lot of don'ts would things you get. It's always funny. Just go back there just for a point of it. A lot of folks, it's quite tricky, small blind to big, when you're raising. A lot of folks would say always to make it 3 times small to big because you don't want to give them the odds to call. And remembering, of course, you're going to play the whole hand out of position, so you really don't want them to call. But there's nothing wrong with 2.5 in it. I would probably make it 500 myself. What would I do if he re-raised me? I would spaz out and get it all in. Nah, because I think there's a thing called stacking off, when you're stacking off size type thing. I forget the words for it. Again, Chris, I'm not trying to teach you this. I'm just trying to tell anyone who's watching this. I think I would probably make it 488 or something, which is only 13 more than what you made it. So shut the fuck up, Comp, stop fucking going on. I think I do need that coffee. In fact, I'm going to pause this now. Right, we're back, folks. It's bloody frozen in my house. It's the winter started. I'm actually going to pick some magic mushrooms this morning. So maybe I could do a video review of somebody's tournament if I get some later. That'll be interesting. We'll see what the little mushroom people think of people's plate. I remember this one, so there we go. And they get a thing with jiggy. And you see it's a, what's that, 25 big blind shove, 2006. It's about a 25 BB shove. Tens I'm calling. Nines I think's my thingy point. Eights, we do it. Yeah, nicely nice. A lot of folks would have called off with that. Again, it's a horrible spot. Again, it's player dependent as well. But even so, it doesn't matter. Even if it's the biggest tonk, sometimes it's. I think just preserving the stack and keeping it out would be the way. Don't know if I'm playing nines. I think tens and jacks are definitely Ace Queen would probably, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Mhm. I don't think there's anything wrong with calling her Chris myself. He's just min raising it. You're getting lots and lots of things. Like you got a hand that flops massive against that. We're getting odds of another of 4 to 1 or something, with position, of course, on 3 of the players already in the pot. Nothing wrong with folding, of course. Personally, I would call just to see if I can flop a monster. Given if it was a 3 times raise, or even maybe even a 2 point, if it was up to 500, I would fold. But I think I'm in raise hands at the time. I think the hands that play well. I suppose it is easily dominated, especially with these two thingamajiggies. But hey, they're suited, man. They're suited. I think the suitedness would, as I say, what's that? You're playing a 50 big blind stack or something there. Anyhow, as it works out, it was we're not results orientated. I like his shove. I don't know about that ace queen thing there. I suppose it would be tight. Where's my e-cig? That used to be my catchphrase, I think. Where's me e-cig? Where's me e-cig? Never ever took on. Took off even. Uh-huh. I think it's a new table. No, it's not. There we go, easy fold. Man, is this one back in time? No, we're still there. Easy fold. Here, sizing's great. I've got I do 555 there, but hey, that's only my personal preference and laziness. But hey, you can't say anything there. What would we do if he reships actually on us there? That would be interesting. He'd be pushing 40. Oh. If he was to reship, it's for half our stack. I think we would have to fold, really, wouldn't we? Interesting. Make a note of that, folks. Maybe for discussion. 28 minutes in. If he was to reship a 40 big blind stack on us, I think we'll have to fold there. I wouldn't like it, and possibly most of the time I might even call. Probably would call, but I think with 40, I stack offside. I think he's really with a 40 big stack. He's the thing with Jiggy. If he had the 20 big blind, it's an easy call. But I think we would have to fold that if he did shove on us. Mm-hmm. It's all good. It's funny how people turn American when they talk about poker. It's all good, man. It's all fucking good. Don't worry, I wouldn't say baby in the video. Hey, baby! I don't know if folks are watching the World Series on PokerTube and YouTube, etc. Episode 9 is due out on there today. If you're watching this on Gyro Day. But it was, oh no, I'm thinking of the PCA, that fucking coach guy is annoying. He was living in 2004. Hey, baby! There, you could throw in a wee 3-bet to mix it up a little bit. How the thing. Hands like ace, that maybe ace six is probably, but any hand that you can get away from after the thing, he's only min raising. Just a thought for folks, really. I prefer to hands that you don't like to call with and you don't like to fold. It's best to three bet. Something like ace queen there, I would probably just call to try and thing. But maybe king jack, any ace. Maybe some sort of connectors. I don't mind putting in a wee three bet, maybe up to 1400 and trying thingamajiggy. Obviously, you don't want just to be known for a three betting with your monsters. So it's good to throw in a lot of hands that are maybe too. Ace six is not too good to fold. Ace six is the shittiest hand in the game of poker. We know that, but nothing wrong with just throwing in a thingamajiggy. But hey, even better, just fold. Fuck it. Ace King's my biggest downfall, to tell you the truth. I've always lived with it. Just fucking. I play it overly aggressive pre-flop. I don't mind getting it in, which I actually say is actually a good thing, because you're only ever. It's only aces really that you're right behind. I mean, even if you're against kings, you're still get something like 30 something %. And if you hit your ace, he's drawing one out. And you get to see all five cards with ace king, so that's why it's good to get ace king in. But again, as I say, sometimes overly play that. We'll make these to 40 minutes and then see like here, if you'd managed to actually show down that a6 earlier, maybe hit two pair or something with it, your three bet here, you could get him to ship on you with cause your image, etc. When you're doing a game with. It's a terrible call to him, wasn't it? We got the button. And we got the button, man. I think we have, haven't we? Oh no, we're playing out of position. Actually, Chris, I think you should be raising more out of position here. I think because you're out of position, you don't want them to flat. I think you do need to maybe raise three bet size in duty position. I think I'd be maybe making it at least 1600 there, only because I'm out of position. Because you don't want it to be flat, which he does. I've got my I'm sick. I'd end up just giving him the pile here. I think I would have bet at some point there. Interesting, and if I do well, anyway, don't worry about the pre-flop Ross comp. Stop going on about it, and see bet. What could he be? A lot of jacks he's got. You have to be scared. I don't think double barreling really achieves it. If he calls that flop, he's going to call the turn, isn't he? He is going to call the turn. And then the 10, really, I think you played it just as well as anyone could with this post flop. As I say, my post flop skills is one of the best. Could have raised there. Don't know, I didn't check the stack sizes behind you. You've got a couple of reshove stacks, these two. I tend to tighten up a hellier lot when I've got my opening ranges, when I've got reshove stacks. But the thing is, they don't actually reshove as often as they should. And I think I do overcompensate because I know what I'm like with a reship stack. I reship everything from Jack 10 upwards against a thing as a raise. would make. I would see. There's a lot of thing with checking back aces there because you're not going to get called with worse, etc., etc. But I've got it, but just personally for me, I see better. My C bet rate's fucking up there at 96% or something crazy. There's a thing for you folks if you're playing against me. I do, I see it. Because if you did have an ace, I think you would be betting that because it is quite a whatever drawy board. I think a wee maybe 1500 bet would get a job done there because if you did have an ace, say if you had ace queen, you wouldn't be checking it back, I don't think there, unless you're the queen of that. I think with the flush and the straight thingamajiggies, I think we have to see bet there. Now we get showdown value. See, I don't know. See there, I don't know what sort of hands that we actually check the flop with and then bet the turn. To tell the God's honest, because but again, it's maybe outside the scope of my thingamajiggy. Your 1200 bet, it's not saying that you've got an ace at all there really, because again, you really want to protect, so you'd have to bet more. I think a C bet would have done the job. At least you'd have known. But again, I know that you don't want to bet, and for him to re-raise you with a draw, and you have to let it go. The possibility of the best hand. So again, folks' comments on that would be interesting. But I don't know if I like that turn bet. I think we're a wee bit of where you've got showdown value. I don't mind checking back and just try to see. I think. I'm not here to just pick holes and things. I'm just putting my opinions. And as you can hear, my opinions are not entirely. Again, I'm not sure. Is this that same dude? Right. I flattered you that last time. I think just as ace king's a hand that you like to 3-bet, get it in, etc. with pre. Jacks tends to be a hand more so just to call with, especially with position. I don't know if I'm making all this up. It could be, but with jacks, you don't want to fold out hands like 8s, 9s, 10s, hands that you're beating, etc. Ace king, you do want to fold out hands like that because they're still ahead. But I've always learnt from way back because ace kings get aggressive pre jacks, trying more so just to call it. I don't know, but again, there's probably nothing wrong with 3-betting there. Oof, what's going on there? Right. He looks awfully strong, doesn't he? I don't know how he's been at the table quite a whatever. He's not the. You could be just re-stealing off him. Again, that's why it's best to maybe create an image with playing 3-betting way with your hands and not just your big hands. Obviously, you've not done that, so he's awfully strong, isn't he? He seems awfully strong, and then that ship, he's going to turn up with, I don't know, 10s and 9s a lot here. But then again, he did really, I don't know, that's just talking at my arse. And then he folds to, I don't know how much more to call there. Oh, we're all confused now where we are. Anyhow. Yeah, with the big blind only having that. So, right, we'll stop it there actually, the thing. There's some points for discussion there. As I say, right or wrong, I think they're up for discussion, which is good. Right, good stuff. See you in part two, folks.